Xerxes calls in the Genasi that you spoke to upon entering. She introduced her as her daughter Clode. And Clode produces a map. And this is some of my best work, guys. I think you're really going to dig this map. You're really going to enjoy this.
Oh, God. I'm puckering up a little bit. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hey! I like the smiley face.
This is great.
Smiley face is best. Look at the smiley face.
Oh, that's from the old map where I drew the smiling rock.
Oh, yeah. There's actually, that's not there. Boop. So, here's the situation. Xerxes, the Hollow, is the leader of a gang of thieves in the city of Brass. And they kind of... Nobody clamps down on them, not even the Sultan, because everybody kind of makes use of them. If you're a merchant prince and you want to get a leg up on some other merchant prince, these are the guys you hire to go in and do that. Whether you're stealing something or learning a piece of information or gaining a key to a lock. Whenever the people in the city of Brass play the Game of Thrones, like, this gang, these are the people that they make use of. So, it's not that the Sultan allows them to operate, it's that sometimes the Sultan needs somebody to get a piece of paper to hold over somebody else's head, and when he needs that, these are the guys they go to. Less than a year ago, an unrelated job sent one of these gang members into the Smiling Rock, and his corpse was found smoldering at the naval yards a few weeks later, and this charred piece of parchment was found on his person. So as far as the layout of the place, as far as how accurate it is, as far as what the symbols mean, they can guess.
They can't tell us anything.
But they don't know for sure. Here's what Clode knows, having been inside the Smiling Rock on one occasion in the past, is over here in this cave network, there's a square labeled out. This square is a large chimney, and it's existed before any structure was built in or around the rock. And the purpose of this chimney is so the red dragon Brazimal can enter and exit the rock. This is where the dragon has his hoard. The dragon has lived here at least since the time of the Fire Giant King, but has no real allegiance to anyone. He has not been ousted because, quite frankly, Xandar is not powerful enough to oust him. This dragon has a lot of physical power, plus has a lot of wealth and contacts within the city.
This dragon's real?
Very, very real.
It actually does blurt that out.
100% real, and ancient at that. Old beyond words. There are genies that are younger than this dragon.
It's the realist. Real or virtually real?
Clode confirms that the dragon is very real.
And Riot will chime in. Listen, Ciclon heard something breathing down there.
Yeah.
The good news about Brazimal is that he's very slow to act. He doesn't particularly care when thieves sneak in or out. He doesn't particularly care when slaves escape out his chimney. He has no particular love of the Fire Giants or of Xandar or of any of the other allies in and around the rock. So sneaking by Brazimal is probably impossible. But coming clean with the dragon, telling him why you're there and what you intend to do, as long as you don't touch his hoard or harm a scale on his neck, he could probably care less. So here's where Clode has been. She has gone down this chimney, and it's a long climb. And she has no problem with that, because she can just levitate as an air genasi. She can do that as much as she wants. She says that beyond the chimney is a ramp leading upwards here. That ramp connects to this area here inside the actual construction. Immediately inside these locked doors in the center area is a slave pen. This is where Xandar keeps a lot of his fighting slaves. Clode was in there because she was commissioned to break in and help a slave escape and get back to Sigil. When she did that job, she got paid for it. She was in and out. She was not spotted. She had a very brief interaction with Aasimar, and that was it. This top left portion of the map, this is the ground level. So the door labeled in, that is the main entrance into the rock that is patrolled by hobgoblin mercenaries most of the time. So I recommend that you guys hit print screen and save this map somewhere you can reference it later. I'm really proud of this. I think this is a... it's wonderful.
It's ... a map.
Do you have
The map is very
something-
entertaining.
Do you have a URL we can access this from?
A URL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Earl.
Yeah, you know that guy in Futurama.
Yeah, I can paste it in the Mumble chat, but I can't paste it in Twitch chat.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go. Although I should say no and make you guys take a print screen.
Well, I'll get the same thing. It's just gonna look worse.
Could it look worse, really?
Listen,
it?
you haven't seen the maps I draw for my Saturday game.
Oh, well, I have real maps of the place, don't worry. I got them out of a dungeon magazine somewhere.
Hey, we've added things to the party notes in the past, straight over. And I'm more than happy to add more.
So here's the benefits that Claude has. She likes the idea of going in with you and causing some ruckus and maybe making off with some treasure. She's a thief through and through. I mentioned that you guys would have the opportunity to make allies. Claude is one such ally. I have a stat block here if you decide to take her on as a hireling. She has low-level access to some illusion and enchantment spells that she's very proud of. She has a ring of fire resistance, so operating in the City of Brass is no problem for her. Other than that, she's essentially a low-level rogue. So she's got some sneak attack damage, she's got cunning action, she's excellent with a dagger and a longbow, both of which are enchanted. $180, she gets you down the chimney to where Aasimar rests. Mm-hmm. She says her price, if you want her along, is an equal share of the treasure. Whatever you take out, she wants 1/7 of it. Kelian, make an insight check. Being a fellow rogue.
That's one.
That's a good roll. She tells you she's excited, and she looks genuinely excited. And she definitely looks generally excited at the prospect of a lot of treasure. However, if things get too hot and heavy, you know immediately she will bolt.
Well, yeah, like any good rogue. Kelian's against it. I think the map's enough.
Okay. So did you all save a copy of this map?
Yep, I got it.
All right, so you want her help into the chimney, but you haven't decided whether or not to take her on as an ally yet.
Yeah, we'll get back to her. We'll come back because we've been all over town. I feel like we've got to rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have. I mean, you've been moving around about 20 hours straight at this point.
Yeah.
Before we leave, Ciclon will press to damn it, I tabbed out of it. To Xerxes the Hollow. You said 2 attempts on our lives.
She nods.
By whom?
And she said she wouldn't want to spoil the fun.
Can I roll insight to see if she's lying?
You wouldn't be able to tell even if you rolled well.
All right, then.
She could be
Can I
playing
ask-
you. She could be... What's that?
Can I ask Xerxes what the cost would be to continue these efforts on our behalf?
Well, she says at this point, her daughter has become quite smitten with you and your group. How could she let her daughters do playthings come into the way of harm? But don't disappoint her now.
Well, on the contrary, I don't think we've started playing yet. Kelian has not put on his shirt, by the way.
Kelian, it's
Or
not all about
his
rutting.
His top or wherever. part of his armor.
So, leaving the little nameless tavern, what is the group's takeaway from this meeting with Xerxes and her minions?
Kelian flat out says, we got what we paid for. We don't need to bring her along.
Right,
Yeah.
agrees.
But if we, but they said 2 attempts in our lives. I hadn't seen any evidence of it. Either they're really good at what they do,
Yeah.
or they're playing us.
Plus, she didn't count the attempt on her life in the castings.
The other thing is, how did she know to find me?
That is a good question.
That's a good question.
I mean, she said that we've been spreading Jandar's name around, but
Yeah,
we haven't. Which kind of makes me inclined to believe that she actually has
Ears
stopped at
inside
least
a
one
sigil.
attempt. She's got ears inside a sigil, and it makes me think Jandar knows we're here.
you shouldn't have said that. Otherwise, I would have been able to continue on without even thinking about it.
I can't read anything else into that. If we haven't been spreading around Jandar's name, Jandar's been spreading around ours. It's the only way she could know.
Ciclon moves the bandage around his right shoulder down to his forearm.
What's Mrs. Fluffy Bottom up to?
She hating life,
Okay.
hating every moment of this terrible, terrible place you brought her to.
This is on her. All I'm saying.
Did you tell her that?
Is this Fluffy
Yes.
a long hair cat or a short hair?
She was a long and mangy-haired cat.
Is she shedding?
I don't know, probably. What's the grossest thing a cat could do in this situation? That's what she's doing.
Back up a hairball.
Yeah.
Constantly vomiting into Killian's pack, because that's the sort of thing my cats do.
So, what do
She
you
needs to
guys
be expressed?
what do you guys make of this map?
I have questions, and so does it.
Like, whoever heard of a dragon just being like, yeah, whatever, don't bother me? Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it certainly is plausible if he's no friend of Jandar's.
Does any of this look like it matches the stuff that I saw in Kelian's visions?
Or
Or
Elsa,
not
you mean?
in Esclon's?
Well, he didn't get to see anything because he had a his vision was impaired.
But like there were little bits and pieces we saw of at least the pits, and let me look back at my notes because I took notes on everything he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a door leading from a narrow hallway through a double door that opened to the back of a throne room. So, where's that? Here's the throne room. It looks like this crown here. Unless you see, does anyone else see another thing that could be a throne room?
The chair right here.
Oh yeah. 10-foot wide hallway through a double door that opens onto the back of the throne room. Wasn't there when he was through. The throne room set on 20-foot high steps. Yeah, that seems like about as far as it got. So there could be a secret entrance around here that we don't know about. Or at least the maker of this map didn't.
See, that's the other benefit to using print screen is you can draw on this map and then print screen it.
Oh, I'm already drawing on the map. You see I've got these ones here, and I expect you to save it.
I'll save it. The tricky part is going to get me to reload it later. Like, I'll tell you what I won't do. Once we get into the dungeon, I will not be flipping back and forth.
Right.
Because I'll hit the wrong button and load when I should have saved and knock out a bunch of work. So what other avenues do you guys attempt? Are we done with this map? Can we go back to the City of Brass now? Or do
Yeah,
you
we
want
can
to
go
leave
back
it?
to
Yeah,
Yes.
we go back to City Brass.
I guess people have been moving dice around. I can't just hit the back button. Be going back through a million different things.
I don't know. I'm starting to feel like we've done enough. Let's keep going.
Yeah, but you felt like we've done enough as soon as we entered the city.
Well, the first thing we're doing is we're taking a rest.
Yeah.
We should keep watch while we're resting.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's the best idea.
First thing
idea.
we should do is find a place where we can draw a cold bath.
Not bloody likely in this place.
No bath will stay cold for long.
I could freeze you. I could freeze the water around you.
And it would melt in probably in a couple minutes.
Yeah, well, I'll freeze
That
it
still
again.
sounds wonderful.
Freeze as many times as you like. My treat.
Yeah, when we go back to the room, then Serenity will draw a bath and have Mahogany freeze it.
Okay.
Get in.
That sounds dangerous.
I don't think you can draw a bath, right? You said you had to pay money for it?
Oh, do we?
Sure,
Yeah,
we
I mean,
can.
I can-
We have
I
someone
can-
who can create and destroy water as many times as
Yeah.
they want.
Right. But I'm just letting you know I have to do that for you. You can't just draw the bath.
I mean, you could find somebody with a tub. I was assuming that's how you were doing it, is creating water your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, the goal is I want to start the next session by bringing you guys right into the dungeon and get started there. So any other preparations you guys want to take care of before then, let's do them now. Including if you guys want to stare at that map in wonderment at its at all of its majesty and glory.
Yeah, you got. Well, there's no consummate bees, Brick Road. Why would we not look at something with consummate bees?
Hey man, you tried drawing a dragon's head in that little tiny space and tried fitting a consummate V.
No, I really can't think of anything else that we could possibly do to grease the wheels, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss too.
Okay,
We're almost at money.
that's
We're
not
out
good.
of people. We've met with all the people that we possibly could meet with.
Not likely. This is a big city.
I'm saying we've met all the people we know about.
And yeah, and more importantly, we concluded our business with all of them. Like, what's his name? The fire giant. I had written down.
Fuck
It's
that guy.
Yeah, like Zudvog is not going to help us anymore. He's not going to give us the names of any of the allies. He's given us the help he's going to give.
He's
that
given
leader
up.
Dead. Xerxes, like we've done the business with her. We're going to do that. Lead is dead.
Which faction would be most related to manual labor? If I wanted to hire
Probably
a bunch of Teamsters, is there a faction I would go to, or just throw some money out on the street?
You mean faction as in sigil or looking for?
Yeah, Sigil.
It depends on what you need them to do and whether or not you need to be able to trust them. Because I mean, you could throw money at a bunch of chaos men.
Right.
And
No,
get
no,
them
totally.
along,
That's what I'm saying. Is there one that would be obvious to me though? That would be like if I needed manual or maybe skilled craftsmen, manual laborers or skilled craftsmen, that they would have a specific alliance to a faction.
Sounds like in-depth.
It's a difficult question to answer because, well, Indepts aren't a faction.
Or Godsman.
Godsman would be one place to go, but that would be a very kind of official way of going about it. They would be more likely to kind of organize and be facilitators. A lot of the craftsmen would be Godsmen as well. But it wouldn't be like day labor. It wouldn't be like you roll up in your pickup truck and all the Mexicans are hanging out by the gas station and you hop in and they build you a deck. Like, that's not what the Godsmen would do. For that kind of labor, you're looking at... I mean, you could get Chaos Men for pretty cheap. Whether or not you could coax them to actually complete the work is a different question. A lot of Sensates who are looking to make a buck might be down for that kind of thing. A lot of Ciphers if they're pulled in that direction. And Serenity has considerable pull within her own faction to begin with. I mean, if you just need 10 hard bodies, you could roll up at the gymnasium and be like, yo, I need 10 hard bodies, who's down?
Well, my thought is, is there any groups in Sigil that stand to lose financially from this underground loophole slave trade?
If it goes through the way that Serenity expects it to have been designed, all of the factions tend to lose.
Okay.
For different reasons. First of all, because they would all probably lose members, and well, it's not that anybody tends to lose; it's that none of them profit from it.
Okay.
No faction would gain any political clout by allowing this to happen.
Well, I was just thinking there might be representatives during this trade week in the city that we might be able to talk to in terms of, help subverting this slave trade, but it doesn't sound like there's any particular group we should hit up for that.
Yeah. Like I said, it kind of depends on what you want these people to help you do. Like, what is the job?
The governors would be pretty far against this. It's illegal, right?
Oh, yeah. Very highly legal.
Are there any governors in City of Brass overseeing the trade and tariffs during the week of fire?
Probably not on the City of Brass side of things, because they don't have jurisdiction here.
Okay.
The Sultan wouldn't allow it. On the Sigil side of things, absolutely. There's absolutely somebody whose job it is to make sure that all the trade going in and out of the portals is fairly taxed, that nothing illicit is coming in or going out.
These are two-way portals?
Oh, yeah. They're two-way portals, and they're maintained on both sides, because both sides profit very heavily during this week.
This is
So the
someone we
only
probably
thing
have to
I
pay a
can
couple
think
coppers
that
to.
we might want to do before we go in is head back to Sigil and make a request among the governors to see if we can find any hard evidence on Jondar's dealings.
You mean
Tax
like
records.
his
if-
non-slave dealings?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, if there's any clues we could dig up through that avenue, and we could maybe lean on the slave thing, but I think trying to explain that to a governor and just they wouldn't be able to wrap their heads on it. Damn waffles.
The governors would be able to find out whether anybody associated with Jandar's organization has committed crimes or has moved illegal goods or moved goods illegally. As far as tax information, that would be the purview of
Oh,
the
that's right.
Fated.
The Fated. Yep.
But both of those are things that might be worth looking into.
Serenity's just going to suggest that. Like, it's the only thing I can think we might want to try and do before we head in is see if we can dig up any official information within the bureaucracy of Sigil.
I wouldn't mind stepping back into Sigil anyway, just to get an idea of the relative time difference.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Kelian, roll a Wisdom 10. You're going to hate what you're rolling this for, but I would be remiss if I didn't.
Nope.
Okay, you're probably better off failing that.
I want to know. I want to know.
Oh, you should use a belief point. What do you want me to do?
Oh, I need those later. I'm gonna need those when I need to crit Jandar and
What
it's like,
are
oh,
you
you rolled
doing
2
here?
2s, yay! On your
This isn't a
advantage. Well,
beach.
Serenity, roll a intelligence plus investigation check.
15.
Okay. Jandar's name. First of all, take a. Where's a D10? There's a D10. A 10. Okay. Take a 100 gold hit as far as filing fees and whatnot, cutting through the red tape.
I've
of the
only got
governors.
about 70 gold.
Maybe somebody will bring up the other 30 for you.
Look at El Ciclon. He's broke again.
You can have 30 from Riot.
There you go.
You can have 0.6 gold.
She's so rich as hell.
Wait. If we combined all our 0.6s, we'd have 3 gold.
Jandar's name doesn't come up in any of the any legal context except for his connection to the slave ring that you guys busted
Okay.
recently. Older than that, however, Jandar has done a lot of mercenary trade. He has facilitated a lot of, for example, the fire giants you met recently had a big loss in one of the skirmishes of the Blood War. One of the people, if you wanted to hire somebody to fight in the Blood War for you, you could go to Jandar for that. A lot of mercenary trade, and some of that does go through Sigil. The question is, like, what are you looking to find? Like, what are you hoping to accomplish by digging out this information? So I can help you with it a little better.
Hoping to see if there were any, like, records in terms of, like, when he tends, like, just basically back and forth. Like, I figure if you go through the paper trail, you might get some idea of the back and forth going in and out of his fortress. Because, you
Okay.
know, oh, hey, look, every 2 weeks he sent someone to collect these fees or whatever.
Okay. one of the things you dig up are some pings of minor misdemeanors and things that happen inside of the sigil. You know, too many broken arms. You know, a hiver gets killed and somebody actually cared for once. But the facilitator of these little petty crimes gets traced back to Jandar because of the Mercy Killers. And the reason for that is Jandar hires a lot of hobgoblins from the plane of Acheron. They're known for being loyal precisely to the amount of coin they're paid, and not one iota less. Hobgoblins will never betray you as long as you're paying, or as long as you're not mistreating them. And whenever Jandar needs a leg broken, he will send these hobgoblin facilitators to do this.
And can I tell from any of the tax records or anything how much a hobgoblin is typically paid?
The number changes quite a lot based on the skill of the personal, like the mercenary company you're talking about. The numbers, what you get, though, are the general numbers. Which I am pausing for effect here because I don't have that part of the text file loaded up.
So what's the effect?
Okay, so at most times when these numbers come up in your paperwork, Jandar has usually 3 contingents of hobgoblins, led by a very powerful warlord, who would be about on par with one of you guys if you were to go toe-to-toe. Under the warlord is usually 2 or 3 captains, and then each of those captains usually has a contingent of 6 or 8 hobgoblins. This would be like his personal guard. These are the guys patrolling his halls, watching his doors. These are the guys that he would send out if he needed business conducted in Sigil. He's much too busy to show up himself. And from that, you're able to extrapolate that given the business he's in at the moment and how everything's kind of falling apart, he probably has one of those contingents in Sigil waiting for word. Which means the inside of his house at this moment probably has fewer defenses than it usually does.
You guys are going to hate me, but let's go jump them. Let's find them and jump them here in Sigil.
Let's do it now.
They're probably in the hive.
Do it in Sigil?
Yeah, get them, get all the information we can out of them, just keep them out of the way entirely. And then we immediately head for the Jandar's fortress. After that, we rest, we hit them in Sigil, we rest, and then we go right for the fortress.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right.
So, here's my last question for the session. Because if we're going to jump some hobgoblins, we got about 15 minutes till 7 o'clock. Does everybody want to go a little bit late and jump some hobgoblins?
Sure, let's jump. I'm good.
I
with
feel
that.
like we can take some hobgoblins pretty fast.
And that Riot is how a Cypher makes a plan.
Right gives a little bow.
Alright.
I'm not gonna lie, when you said the various amount of hobgoblins, I was thinking, okay, there's 3 to 12 hobgoblins.
Okay, let's take 2 minutes then.
Yeah, I need a
So I
potty
can-
break then.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I wasn't going to say that because a little, But yeah, let's do that. And then we will jump some hobgoblins.
Alright, let's be honest here. We're rolling some hobgoblins.
That's the hope.
A hobgoblin bloodbath.
I mean, unless all
Right.
3 companies are here, I don't think they have much of a chance.
Riot is warning the party in advance right now that she's warming up her Thunderwave, and anyone who gets in the way gets in the way.
I'm sure that'll come up when it comes up, right?
Yeah. Did you guys ever, I love that turn of phrase from there was I don't even know if fanfic is the word for it. Somebody wrote a weird stage play thing about Beyonce's family and Kanye's family getting together post Lemonade, and it is hilarious. And Beyonce is so pissed the entire time. At one point, she's had so much of everybody else's crap, and she says, "All right, I'm taking a shotgun, and whoever dies is dead." I gotta find that. It's so good. It requires a lot of context, though.
I don't know. I feel like that's something that one of us would say. During...
Yeah.
Okay, I feel better now.
Who pooped?
No, I didn't poop. I had to pee.
I'm glad that we're talking about poop and pee on my stream. I am going to apologize. I have to drink 2 Pepsis today. I'm only allowed to drink 1, but I have to drink 2 today because I've been awake for 30 hours and there's no other caffeine in the house.
Okay.
You okay?
Okay, Burger. Then how's this? I had to tinkle.
How about we took a break for 2 minutes
Okay.
and just leave it at that? And it's just classy.
I don't like to leave any mystery in the air.
Like, we don't need to get the protractor out and measure the arc of the stream, is it?
Information wants to be free, Brickroad.
That's true. So, look at what a genius I am.
How a genius are you?
I'm a friggin' genius because
You already have this encounter set up.
do a little digging and you find out
in the forest clearing.
where we could. I have it. You do a little digging and find out where these hobgoblins are likely to be, and what you learn is that they don't know that the Afridi is dead yet. So, using a little bit of finesse, you leak the information that something has happened, and then you lay in wait for them at the forge.
I know it. I knew it.
See how I did that?
That's
well
cheating.
done.
That's nice.
That is cheating.
You're a genius. You real smart.
I didn't leak that information.
You
You
a
can't
genius.
prove it.
All right, so there's Happy. We'll go ahead and make him a little bigger. And
Just the arm if you can.
okay.
Brickroad loves doing this every time.
Happy was a man.
Oh my god! Oh
No,
my
that's,
God,
that's too many. That's too many.
No, yeah, that's way too many Brickroad.
We can't.
Go on.
That's a lot of hobgoblins.
Or maybe he was a demon man.
It's possible. Okay, so this actually probably is enough hobgoblins, I would think. You get a warlord and 2 captains who we will color yellow.
The Plane Talkers in the adventure of Too Many Hobgoblins.
Oh, I feel so sorry for these people now.
For the hobgoblins.
Oh, well, that was before you spawned another group of 6. I was like, oh, okay, now it feels fair.
Does it?
Does it really?
All right, so
They don't have wizard wands.
where are you guys going to position yourself in this forge? What you know is that the hobgoblins are going to come investigate through the door.
Through the actual door, not like the fake doors we use.
Through the actual door. What you also know, though, that it's very unlikely that you have them surprised because they're expecting something off. They're going to be on their guard when they come in. So they probably will not be surprised coming in. Unless Kelian does something to orchestrate it. What did you have in mind?
No, I got nothing.
What if
I
instead
just
of being
wanted to
in
complain.
here, we were outside of here, and when they go in, we just close the door and set the place on fire?
It's a forge. It wouldn't burn.
There's only one part of it that's a forge.
Where's Happy at? Actually, we're going to have to do this, believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Whoa!
Because I just need to know where the holes in the walls are.
We might have to tell Happy or somebody to wait outside and lock the doors behind them when they come in. Because otherwise they're going to get out into the streets.
Well, there's more than one exit. There's a couple of ways. And they're probably going to approach from multiple exits because hobgoblins aren't stupid. They're not... You can't trick them or easily manipulate them. They're going to be meticulous and methodical. And
I mean,
do it
let's
by
just
the
say
book.
what's on everyone's mind here. In everyone's campaign ever, hobgoblins have always just been evil Romans.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I've ever used them before. That's why I was probably just thinking them as jumped up goblins. But if they're smart, then they're
No.
smart.
Well, I mean,
They-
we ran
Oh,
into
they're super
hobgoblins
lawful and
in
ordered.
Flumph.
Huh? Okay. Yeah, I don't think we ever fought them in the original Flumph.
No, we didn't
You,
fight them.
you
but we
did
dealt
deal with them, though.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then Mahogany, or not Mahogany, but Eldov went back and burned them all.
Yeah.
So,
I did not. I earthquaked them all.
no, that's true. So is somebody going to be outside?
Sounds like it wouldn't be useful if there's so many. If they're coming at us from so many different ways.
Okay.
But we do got to be prepared to follow up when anyone who tries to escape.
Yeah.
Right.
Happy and I could probably chase them down.
I'm hoping this fight doesn't take too long. I don't think it should.
I doubt it will.
But yeah, if there's a problem, like if one of them starts running, as long as we know they've started running, we're faster than they are.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that's true about this party, it's that we're faster than basically anyone.
Goddamn monks.
We can really move. We've got attitude.
Monks, I've got a 90-foot fly speed.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, these are these are
Eventually
super
they'll get
hobgoblins.
there. Don't worry.
So you guys hear the sound of footfalls and commands being
Wait,
issued in
why?
the hobgoblin tongue.
Does anyone speak Hobgoblin?
Nope.
I doubt it in this group. Nobody here's lawful either. So even if we were using alignment languages, you wouldn't be able to. So anyway,
Is that a thing?
in first edition, it was absolutely a thing.
Huh.
Alignment
Wow.
languages. I don't understand why, but I didn't start playing until like the late '80s. So what
Because
do I know?
Gygax is crazy, that's why. Moving on.
So everybody inside. Actually, I just need one person to make a stealth check. Whoever has the lowest stealth score, make a stealth check. If it's-
Ciclon's at 2.
If it's
We're trying to get the jump on them, so remember, you have
Pass without trace?
pass without trace.
So Serenity's at plus 11.
Okay, that'd be Serenity.
Yeah,
then.
Serenity's lowest.
Wow.
So that'd be a
good.
30.
Serenity and Happy in that position, no amount of stealth will avail you. You're standing right out in the open. You're not behind anything.
Oh, I thought I had moved him, but then you reloaded the map. Yes, that's why.
Okay. And you hear orders being yelled. And now, we're going to roll some initiative.
Yay!
Let me paste my hobgoblins out here.
Meh.
I will be asking for initiative in just a moment. Bear with me, please.
Of course now I roll high. Of course I do.
Oh!
Hobbo Gobbos.
Oh, I missed an opportunity to tell the worst joke that I ever came up with earlier during all the breaks.
Hoblins.
Riot, what's your initiative?
15.
And Kelian.
23.
Nice.
Ciclon.
12.
Serenity.
Serenity acts at 18.
Hey, that's a good roll for once.
I got a 1 and a 15, yes.
Mahogany.
25.
And Happy.
Same as Ciclon.
Well, so what number is it? There
12.
it is. 12. So, Mahogany, here's the haps. Right now, none of them have entered. They've entered into position. You know where the entrances are yourself. And peeking out from your vantage point, you can see, especially the ones in the back here, lining up to come through this back hole. At this point, The forge has sat cold for 2 days. No more embers are smoldering unless one of you set it to smolder. And currently the door is closed, but you know there are some number of hobgoblins outside. You know that most likely you don't have them surprised because they came here with purpose, but at the moment you're pretty sure none of them know where you are because none of them entered the building yet. That's the information you have to go on your first turn.
Does it take them a turn to open the door? Or is it going to be
guess
someone
we'll
opens
find
the
out.
door?
Here's my question.
Yes.
Is these people over here, right? You have them marked here, but the door's here?
No. The door is here.
Okay.
So they're standing a few ways outside.
Yeah, we don't know where exactly they are, but they're somewhere in this area.
Yes, sir.
Alright, well, I'm going to wait until this group is inside, and then I'm going to summon an elemental behind them.
Ping the square where you mean behind them.
Once they enter, I'm thinking like somewhere like here,
Okay.
or here. Like, I just want it to be behind them, relative to me.
So
I'm hoping to block their escape.
I get you. So held action, once all of these guys are through,
Yeah,
block their escape with an elemental.
right.
Kelian, what's up?
Kelian is also going to hold his action. The first hobgoblin he sees pass through this door, he's going to shoot.
Okay. Serenity, what's up?
Serenity is just going to delay.
What do you mean delay?
Oh, is that not a thing in 5e?
No, it is not.
Do you mean
No, you can hold an action.
do
Okay.
nothing, dodge, or hold an action?
Serenity will just dodge.
Okay. Riot.
Riot is going to wait for Actually, Riot's going to be right here. Riot's going to wait for 4 hobgoblins to be within range of her Thunderwave, and then cast it.
So if you can get 4 hobgoblins in a 3x3 square.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me draw that line.
El Ciclon.
Once I see Riot getting ready to do her thing with Thunderwave, I'm going to hold an action. Once she casts Thunderwave, I'm going to close and start beating face.
You can't move an attack with a held action. You can only take an action.
Right, that's why Riot's moving up right now.
So you can move into position and then hold your action, but you risk being seen once somebody comes in the room.
Dodge.
Dodge? Okay. What about Happy?
Flank this side. Wait, no, Kelian's there. Never mind. Dodge.
Dodge. All right. The Hobogobos. What's their movement? That's a good question. I should find out. There it is.
The Hobgoblins.
Let's move them all in. I can't see where these lines are. Fire's not burning, so they can move in safely. Alright, I get to roll a bunch of d20s now. Like, a lot of d20s.
Roll them.
Not a lot, only 6, but... Roll what?
Roll them.
Oh, I get to roll 7, not 6. I can't count.
Math is hard.
Math is hard. This one calls out. All of them enter through the hallways, or not hallways, the openings in the walls. And they're armed with longswords and longbows as they come in, but they can't see any of you. They scan the room for a few seconds. Then this one here spots Mahogany, points in his direction and calls out something in Hobgoblin. At which point, Cap and Gabos get to move. So that triggers Mahogany's held action.
All right. And I reread it because I wasn't sure, and I actually don't get to choose the elemental. I've got one in mind if you don't want to think of one. But
I don't mind if you choose it, just whatever you want.
yeah,
As
I'm
long
gonna
as
pop
it's
down
CR2.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop down a gargoyle.
A Gargoyloid?
Gargoyle.
A Gargoyloid, that's what I said.
A gargoyle. Yeah.
Gargoyloid. Go ahead and roll initiative for your Gargoyloid. It's
Yeah.
a very slightly purple. Oh no, he's pink. Okay, that's fine. That's whatever.
Mahogany's gargoyle.
Gargoyloid. So what's initiative for the Gargoyloid?
Let's find out. 14. He has 11 decks.
I think you misspelled Gargoyle Brick Road.
That's how you spell Gargoyloid. It's a made-up word that I made up. I get to pick how it's spelled. I'm going to bump you down below their initiative. You keep giving me sass. Alright, so Gargoyloid pops in to block off that escape. This guy here follows where he's looking. He's going to fire his longbow at Mahogany.
Good fucking luck.
Good fucking luck. Oh, the captain doesn't have a longbow. The captain has javelins.
Just
You
for that,
ain't
he
aiming
just-
at a 12. That's what I'm saying.
Just for that, he's gonna give him the lucky feet.
Mahogany. Does a 12 do it?
No.
Does a 20 do it?
Barely.
Barely.
Right, this is the chance.
Barely. Riot. If you're going to give Mahogany Bardic Inspiration, you risk giving away your position, because you do have
Yeah.
to speak to do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
I wouldn't either. Fuck Mahogany, that's my motto.
He can take care of himself. He's fine.
Yeah, ooh, max damage. 8 piercing damage, Mahogany.
Alright.
As El Capitan here whips 2 of his 3 javelins. See, I keep track of ammo for my monsters, too. Down the hallway. And you press yourself up against the wall where you thought you were hidden pretty well. You don't know what the deal was. One javelin clatters to the ground at your feet. The other one catches you in the shoulder. And it's going to bring us back to Mahogany's turn.
I feel like it's probably Serenity's fault. Well, fuck it. I'm going to turn into a giant fucking bear. Fuck these guys.
Big surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see that one
I
coming.
can only get this far, though, so I can only take out this guy.
Okay.
But I'm going to take him on.
You have to try really hard to not take out this guy, I'm going to say. This is one thing, and you guys know I don't compliment 4th edition often, so when I do, pay attention.
25 and 16.
25 and 16, both hit.
Alright.
One thing I really liked about 4th edition was the concept of minions. I use minions
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
You
really
hit
good.
it. You hit him. You drop him.
Although, 7C did minions first, so really, I'm just complimenting 7C.
Backhanded compliments.
That's 26.
26. He's a hobgoblin, he's fine. So you bear up on this guy. And I mean, you just maul him to the ground. The good news is he's no longer pointing in your direction and telling everybody where you are. The bad news is you're a giant bear and everybody can just see you mauling this hobgoblin. And all 6 of these guys are knocking their bows in your direction.
It's not their turn yet.
No, but it will be soon. Kelian, you're up.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm alright, how you doing? Actually kind of bummed because no one came through the goddamn door.
Nope.
Yeah, where are those? Where are those dudes?
What is this shit about?
Should open the door and ask him.
I can reach this guy here. I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay. From your current position?
Yeah.
That's a-
Yeah, that's fine.
It's ignoring me.
This is El Capitan number 1. Excuse me, I'm burpy because I'm drinking a second soda today. My wife's going to be so mad at me if she finds out I drank 2 Pepsis.
That is a 22. 22.
That's good?
Okay, I'm gonna roll damage. Do I... Mahogany's too far, huh? Yeah.
The Mahogany's too far away
To what?
for sneak attack.
Oh, yeah. If you want a sneak attack, you should have attacked this guy.
16 damage.
16. That's not bad. Okay. And are you staying in that corner?
Yep.
With the understanding that you fired from there, so you're no longer hidden in that corner.
Yep.
Okay. It's going to bring us to...
Can you cunning action and hide again?
Not in
Not
that
in
square,
that
he can't. So there's a loud ruckus goes up as this captain eats an arrow, and you see some of the hobgoblins start turning in Kelian's direction, looking for him, and they're yelling things. And you hear the leader, the war chief, who has the much lower, deeper hobgoblin voice, barking something back in response. It's going to bring us to Serenity.
We hear him from, like, out here?
Oh yeah, you know he's out here, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, because you heard him and his men form up in position outside the door.
Yeah.
Serenity will move to here, pull a javelin out, and give it a whirl at. Let's go with this guy to start. Oops.
put
You
him
gotta
back, I'll
at
put him back.
least roll. I mean, just don't knock them over. Let's pretend like they're not minions.
18 on armor class
That's just good enough.
Oh,
for 9 damage.
Now, 9 damage isn't really enough to kill a hobgoblin, but we're gonna say it is because I really don't want any of these hobgoblins to take 2 hits.
And then that one, second javelin, it's an armor class of yes, 26.
I remember when
But
Terran
not,
did that.
for only 7 damage.
Okay. And Serenity dives across the pillars. Listen, I'm not gonna count 11 hit points. I don't care. It's nickels and dimes at this point. Serenity dives behind this pillar, whips 2 javelins out on the way, puts one through the neck of the first one directly through the shield, pinning it to the chest of the second, and they both fall over dead.
And my other hand is free, so let's go ahead and throw a hand axe at this one.
Do it.
That'll hit a 24 for it's only +2, so 5 damage.
I'm not giving it to you on 5 damage, though. I mean, I'm being generous already, but 5 damage is just an insult to me and my entire household.
I agree.
Although he's definitely wounded because you've sheared his ear off and he's not happy about his lot in life. That is going to bring us to Riot.
Hold. Same action, same as before.
Same as before?
Give it one more try.
What about this Gargoloid?
What about him?
that's my
It's
turn.
Gargoloid's
Oh,
turn.
He's gonna step forward, and he's gonna take a bite and a claw at these 2 hobbies.
Okay.
Hobbies.
Yeah, one at the left. We'll see if it kills him.
They're Gabo Habos last time I checked.
Abogabos.
22. Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay.
For
If you get 7, I'll give it to you. If you get less than 7, I'm not giving it to you.
I got 4.
That's not going to do it.
So we'll do the second one.
Listen, Hobgoblin's made of slightly tougher stuff than that.
There was a really good variant minion roll for 4E that I liked. That they have a hit point threshold, and if you hit for less than that, you bloody them, and if they're bloodied, you kill them.
Yeah, where did I read that? I might have read that in one of the DM's Guild things I was flipping through.
Yeah, that's
one day.
actually a pretty good way to run minions, in my opinion.
Alright, well, that
Yeah, that's
second
not
one's
bad.
not gonna kill him.
Pretty much how we're running these guys. So yeah, this man here is bloodied, but his friend is not. Gargoloid moving or staying in that square?
He's happy there.
El Ciclon.
He's got really good AC and hit points.
El Ciclon.
5. No,
What's up?
I'm counting out movement here.
Ah.
There. Key point for Step of the Wind.
Okay.
And Hobgadling. I have no idea what Hobgadling even means, but that's what the thing is named.
That's actually El Capitan there.
Yeah.